President-elect Donald Trump brought his transition talks to the football field today when he attended the 125th Army-Navy game alongside Republican lawmakers and cabinet picks. In a box high above the crowd at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, Trump took in the game with House Speaker Mike Johnson, incoming Senate Majority Leader John Thune, Pennsylvania Senator-elect Dave McCormick, Defense Secretary pick Pete Hegseth, Director of National Intelligence choice Tulsi Gabbard, and multi-billionaire First Buddy Elon Musk. Before his arrival, though, Trump announced 3 more appointments, including Truth Social CEO Devin Nunes as chairman of the president's Intelligence Advisory Board. You may remember Nunes is a former Republican congressman known for his memo attacking the Russia investigation. His appointment and all the others have one thing in common. The book, Team of Rivals by Doris Kearns Goodwin, is a study of Abraham Lincoln's presidency and how he steered the nation through a civil war by bringing into his cabinet the 3 men who ran against him. Goodwin called doing so, quote, the political genius of Abraham Lincoln. The 16th president was one of our nation's greatest, which might explain why the 45th and soon-to-be 47th president has been obsessed with him, alternating between praising him and slamming him. But unlike Lincoln, Donald Trump is not assembling a team of rivals. He's assembling more of a team of toadies, people who aren't in his cabinet because of their knowledge or expertise, if either exists, for the job they've been picked for. They are there, first and foremost, for their loyalty to Trump. Pete Hegseth should not be Secretary of Defense, but the opposition that seemed to be building against him before Thanksgiving started dissipating the moment Trump expressed public support for him. Senator Joni Ernst was the most vocal in her skepticism of the Hegseth selection, but ever since Trump's MAGA mob sprung into action, Ernst's rhetoric seems to have softened. Rather than get fired, FBI Director Christopher Wray announced on Wednesday that he would leave before Trump takes office. Bowing to the inevitable pressure to come, Wray is stepping down more than 2 years before his 10-year term was set to end. And by doing so, Wray made it easier for Kash Patel, the election-denying conspiracy theorist with a published enemies list, to lead the FBI. Now, look, it's not unusual for a president to fill his cabinet and government with fellow travelers. But Trump is also appointing family members or people who are family adjacent. What he is cobbling together is starting to feel like an imperial presidency, one where he is more monarch with a royal court with pledged allegiance to him. That's even more pronounced than his first term, when his daughter Ivanka and her husband Jared served on the senior White House staff. Trump has turned to Ivanka's father-in-law, Charles Kushner, to be America's ambassador to France, America's oldest ally. Trump has turned to Tiffany's father-in-law, Masoud Boulos, to be his Middle East advisor. Trump has turned to Donald Jr.'s fiancée, Kimberly Guilfoyle, to be our ambassador to Greece. And lest we forget, we owe J.D. Vance's selection as vice president to Don Jr. as well. One more thing, extending invitations to authoritarians like President Xi of China and Prime Minister Orban of Hungary is yet another tell that Trump views his inauguration as a coronation. In 1859, in response to a letter from a supporter urging him to run for president, Abraham Lincoln poured cold water on the idea gaining steam all around him. He wrote, quote, I must, in candor, say I do not think myself fit for the presidency. If we take Lincoln at face value, in that one self-effacing remark, he showed humility about his own abilities and reverence for an office whose duties require thinking of something other than, bigger than, and beyond oneself. So, by that yardstick, what Trump is doing isn't Lincoln-esque. It's more like Louis XIV. There's an apocryphal saying attributed to the legendary 17th and 18th century French king proclaiming absolute authority that fits Trump perfectly. L'État, c'est moi. I am the nation. Louis XIV might not have said it, but Trump appears determined to embody it.